Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another video. You can see it's starting to snow. I think we're supposed to get, 3 to 6, 4 to 7, something like that. So maybe finally, for one of the first times this winter, we'll actually have complete snow cover. It's been pretty bare for this winter so far, and I've been okay with that, guys. And I should take almost all the credit for the low amounts of snow, because I bought this back in December and it hasn't snowed since. But for today, we are back here in my workshop starting a new art piece. The Modine is kicking out the heat. It is February 12th here in Wisconsin, and it's been a pretty cold February, and it's looking like it's going to be cold basically the rest of the month. Generally colder than it has been definitely the last few Februaries. Last February we had 60-degree days and a couple 70s. But enough about the weather, guys. We are here to make beautiful kick-ass art. Again, we're going to be building a 2x4 piece of wall art. And as usual, I don't know what pattern I'm going to put in there yet. I do know I'm going to do a black and white theme. So I ripped all these strips on the table saw yesterday, and I gave them 2 coats of white paint. And also yesterday, I ripped up all these pieces. They're 1.5-inch strips. I made these out of 1x2s, and I'm going to paint all of these black. So that will be my first step today.
Here's some Neil Young, and everybody knows this is Nowhere on the Bug. Forecast today, those winter weather advisories in effect, 17 for the high and 3 to 6 inches expected today through tonight. Tonight's low 11 a.m. clouds, tomorrow p.m. sun and 16. Friday p.m. snow showers and 23.
Okay, guys, that didn't take me too long. I got all those painted black. I'm not sure if there's enough of that, but this is what we're going to start with. But now I just got to let these dry. It's a bit earlier than normal, but I think I'm going to go in and grab a little brunch. Also, I'll keep you guys updated on today's snowstorm. See how it goes throughout the day. Just for reference, you can see all that uncovered ground. We'll see if that gets covered anytime soon. So we got eggs, we got some tuna, we got a chicken drumstick chopped up, and we got some cheddar cheese. And to top it off, a little bit of Louisiana hot sauce. And of course, we got Eddie with a little super tramp. Before I get going on the piece, I actually decided I'm gonna get the palm sander out, and I'm gonna go through and sand all these pieces before I start laying them out. In the past, I would just grab a piece, take it to the saw, cut it to size, and come back with a piece of hand sandpaper and do it that way. But I'm just gonna hit them all real quick with a palm sander, and that way a lot of the sanding will be done already. I bought these deerskin gloves about 1.5 months ago. And these things have been excellent, let me tell you. I would recommend finding some deerskin gloves. All right, let's get these bad boys sanded. And by the way, if you guys are wondering what I am sanding, you can see I sand the edge off. And I like that wood to come back through the edge there. You can see what it looks like unsanded and sanded. And I will do that to all the pieces. But I won't bore you guys with that. I'll be back when the sanding is done. All the sanding is done. Backer board is marked and ready to go. Porta cable 23 gauge nailer ready to rock. As to what design we're gonna put in here, you just gotta stay tuned, guys, because I still don't even know what I'm gonna do yet. But this here is the part of the video where you guys can sit back and relax, because I'm gonna set you up with some time-lapse action here, so stay tuned, guys. Well, I was gonna try finishing this thing tonight. It's pushing 6 o'clock and I'm kind of burnt out. So I'll come back out here in the morning and finish this thing off, cut all the edges off and start working on the frame. So say goodnight to Rocket. Rocket, you gotta hold down the fort. Well, you can still see the grass sticking out. We didn't get a ton of snow. Maybe an inch and a half. 2 tops, not even though, I don't think. Anyway, guys, I'll see you all in the morning. And just like that, it is another morning, guys. And you can see the grass is actually covered with snow today. Look at that. Just barely, but it's covered. We maybe got a couple inches yesterday. I think they forecasted 3 to 6. That's generally how it goes. And let's hope it stays that way because we have 6 to 10 forecasted for tomorrow into Saturday. So we'll see how that goes. But it is quite frigid today. I think maybe 14 for a high. That's without the wind chill, of course. And -8 without the wind chill tonight. So this thing might get some work after all. Who knows? And as for weather, I like to talk about the weather. The forecast for February keeps getting worse and worse. We may have the coldest days of the year coming up in a couple days, which is a bit odd for this time of year, that late into February. But we'll see what happens. It's not looking good. We're looking for like 5-degree high temperatures. So staying below 0 all day with the wind chills. -12, that's without the wind chill. But then the forecast, you get to the end of the month and I saw 40 in there. So let's get this cold stuff out of the way so we can move on to spring. And here we are with today's piece. I think it's looking pretty cool. We'll see when it gets done what it looks like. These pieces here, a 1x2 pine, I am actually gonna double coat these with whites, and I think I'm going with a white frame for this piece. So that's gonna be my first step. I'm gonna paint them, then while they're drying, I can finish this piece, and then I can put a second coat on them while they are drying, and I'll probably be ready for brunch by then. This will dry, and when I get back out after brunch, I will cut all the edges off this, and the frame will be ready to install. Rocket, don't forget to say hi to everybody. Shopcat Rocket in the house. First coat is on. While those are drying, we will knock this thing out. All right, guys, there it is. The pattern is complete. So I'll take this out and cut all the edges off after it dries up a little bit. And in the meantime, I will give these one more coat. And that's how we're doing brunch today. Is that Eddie approved? Yes? Gotta say, brunch hit the spot today. It's funny, I can make that meal every day in a row. And some days it just hits, and some days it's not so good. Gotta get the thick stuff on. It is frickin' frigid out there, and I gotta go outside and cut the edges off of that art piece. Though it is a nice clear day outside, I'll have to clean a little bit of this snow up, make a little area to work before I can cut all that stuff. That's good enough for now. Before I cut the edges off this thing, there is a bunch of pin nails sticking out of the back of this thing. So we're gonna pull them out. Look at all those things. Using that 1/4-inch Luan, all the nails obviously stick through from the front. So I just use a pair of vice grips, grab onto them things, and just pull them all out. They come out pretty easily. You probably get a couple that break off. You have to pound them in. Flip that around. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull all those out. Staples all removed. So we're gonna go outside, cut the edges off here. I made this guide track last week, and you basically just line it up with this where you want it to be cut. And I tried clamping it before, but my saw doesn't get around the clamps. So I'm gonna make some pilot holes here. I'm just gonna screw it to the piece, make the cut, unscrew it, move it to the other side, screw it. It's a little extra process, but then I know it'll be nice and sturdy and nice and straight. Line up the edge where I want it. And I'll screw it right into the piece here. That'll hold it there. Then I'll just take it outside, run the saw right along there and cut that edge off. Let's get this outside and cut it. Edges are all cut off. Nice and clean. For those of you guys that follow the channel, you know I gotta sand everything. So I will take these frame pieces and I will sand all the edges. I may have showed you this earlier, but you kind of see what I do with these things. I sand off all the paint all along the edges, and I do every edge. You can see the difference. Unsanded to sanded. And I don't know, this always looks a lot better to me. I'll finish sanding these things and get back to you. Check it out, guys. I found a new 0.0 beer, which I really like. And seeing it is the afternoon and we're in the shop, nothing wrong with having a beer, as it is the unleaded variety. Next step for me, you can kind of see where the nail holes were. And I am basically going to try hiding some of that by dabbing little dots of white paint on all these holes and see what happens. And for whatever reason, you can't really see the nail holes in the black, so that's a good thing. I showed you guys this technique before. Basically, I take the tip of the screw, I dunk it in the paint, and then I just touch the nail hole with it. I better be careful not to get this on the black. So we'll go through and touch the holes, see if we can hide some of them things. Okay. This thing is ready for the frame. We are using these 1x2s I have previously cut and gotten ready. And I always say the best part, or the easiest way to get started doing this, is just start cutting. So we will start with a 45-degree angle for that corner. Now I will take another piece, one of the long ones, and also cut it at 45 degrees. Now I have something to line up the corners with. So I can bring this over to the other side here, make a little room. Give me a place to mark this corner. Whew, almost dropped it, guys. We'll cut this at 45, and I will cut it a bit long. Usually cut a little bit long and then slowly fit it to size. Okay, I got it cut to size. We'll put a little glue on it before we attach this thing. Not sure how good glue works over paint, but what the heck. Line these corners up where I want them. Not bad. Get a starter nail. We'll put one down here as well. Actually, I'm going to lift it up. There we go. Okay, that's good there. Good there. This corner here. Good there. Good there. Okay. Side one is in. Eyeball that up. Looks good there. Eyeball this up. Mark it. Again, 45 it. Cut it a bit long. Honestly, guys, I don't know if you have been watching my Everything is Junk videos, but I have a brand new ear compressor over here. Maybe it's supposed to do this, but I've never heard one do this before. But it leaks air, but only once in a while. Now it'll leak air until it kicks in, runs a cycle, and then it'll stop leaking air. So this might... There, it just stopped. No more noise. So I don't know what the heck is going on. I know the little thing on the bottom is tight. Sometimes I wiggle the holes a little bit. So I don't know what the heck is going on. But let's get this thing nailed on here. All right. Now I gotta get the sides. And of course, when I cut the last piece, walking over to it, I drop it on the ground. Pine is nice and soft, so I baned up the corner a bit. So I was able to flip it around and put that side to the back side. It'll not be noticeable. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to drill these corners out. Now I'm going to put screws in the corner to lock in these 45s. We'll be using a 2-inch trim head screw right in the corner here, sucking that joint nice and tight. Ideally, it should come from this side, I think. Okay. Okay guys, frame is complete and attached. But where I put these screws and the nails, I'm going to fill with a little putty, and then I will paint white over the top to hide those things. I'm just going to use this product. It's plastic wood. Dab in the holes, sand it off, and paint over it. And I forgot to tell you one other thing I like to do. I'll just take a piece of sandpaper here, and I will sand around these edges on the corner. Kind of rough it up a little bit. Kind of give it the appearance of this in a way. And it fills in any imperfections. Just kind of like so. Just as a corner that I dropped earlier. Look at that. Makes it look nice. Just like so. Okay, you can see I filled the holes. Now I'm just going to take some white paint and go over the top of that stuff. All right, guys, here it is, the finished piece in all its glory. I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with it. Looks pretty cool. And to all those people out there that followed this from the beginning and watched this far into the video, what the heck is wrong with you guys? But as always, I appreciate it. Anyway, guys, I got stuff to do. I'm gonna let you guys go. We will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.